Hey everybody, welcome to G4G on YouTube. I'm Napalm Dawn, and we're going to go into Marvel Duel and check out the Doctor Strange update. Now, I have not gone into Marvel Duel yet, since supposedly this update has come out, so I don't know what to expect, and that is kind of the plan. I want to be able to have a very natural and unscripted reaction to what's going on in here, which is just kind of how I prefer to do my videos. I feel it's a more realistic take on things, and it kind of mirrors what everybody else is going to go through when they get into the game. So, looks like it is getting a little bit of a patch over here. It's slow enough that I think I will pause this for now, and we'll pick it back up once the patch has fully loaded. Alright, so we're back. I've got the game launched, and however, I already know a little bit about what's going on, because unfortunately, when I recorded it, the first time, it didn't record. So I've been playing along for quite a bit with the trial for Doctor Strange, so I kind of know a little bit about what's going on over here. So first thing I want to do is I will show you the shop and the offers we have. We have a Doctor Strange unlock boost for 118. You're gonna get a Shulao, a Wong, a Ring of Compulsion, a Mr. Misery, who kind of reminds me of Shub-Niggurath. Shub-Niggura? I think it's Shub-Niggura, but it's not. I don't know where in the Marvel Universe Shub belongs to. I don't know if it's the Doctor Strange side or where Blackheart came from with Ghost Rider. I don't really know. Forgive me. Displacement, Camouflage Apprentice, Selena Stanton, who is the one that I thought looked a lot like Molly Hayes because of the hat. And I knew it wasn't going to be Molly Hayes with Doctor Strange, but still. Sorcerer's Mandala, Shield of the Seraphim, and 10 Doctor Strange packs. So 118 is equivalent to about 20 bucks. You then have the Doctor Strange Dimension, the Dark Dimension, which is the other side of the Doctor Strange kit, sort of like Shield and Hydra, where you will get Dormammu, Clea, Return to Sender, Umar, Caecilius, Mr. Misery again, Baron Mordo, Devils, Shield of the Seraphim, and another 20 packs. So if you were to combine the 358 and the 120 over here, you would essentially get about 50, 70 bucks if you had enough to cover the distance over there. And then of course you still have the Supreme Treasure for 20 hours, which could possibly give you some Doctor Strange vouchers in there, I would think, and maybe even some Doctor Strange legendaries, and this will run you about 100 bucks. So if you were really wailing out over here, you could do about 170 bucks. Pushing upward to 200 to whale out over here. And then you have the Magic Gem supply, which is 5 tickets for him. By the way, that is a nice ticket. And these Magic Gems, which is available when you go to events, and then you go to the shop over here. And 350 would get you some emotes. It would not get you Umar or the card back, but it will get you a couple Doctor Strange tickets right off the bat. You get 2 of them. Could get a random epic. Could even go the random hero route. However, you can go up to 3 on the random hero, but you don't necessarily know that you'll get a Doctor Strange. Crystal Converting Core. which allows you to take a neutral crystal or a hero crystal and convert it to another random crystal. I guess that would maybe be good if, like, say you got all the helicards you wanted and you wanted to convert some helicores to something else. It's random, but you know, if you've got a bunch and you know they're just kind of going to waste, it's a good way to shift them out. These are, by the way, cool emotes. I think they're worth the 350, but I mean, you could get a head start on Umar, and this is a pretty cool card back. It's, I think, a little bit animated with the sparkle, but man, it would be so cool if that flame moved a little bit. So the event is basically you take one of your decks and you throw them up against this sort of infinite gauntlet of characters, and you can pick along the side over here what avatar you want to bring in with you. Let's see. Or maybe not. I don't actually know about this yet. I know I've done this Mr. Misery. Maybe it changes who you face. However, here you can either pick Zelma or Wong. If you pick Zelma, you have 100 battle gems to start off with and grant 10 armor to friendly characters when they enter the battlefield. So this is good for like a Thor kind of a deck. Or you could go with Wong, grant 1 armor and Iron Will to friendly characters after they take an action. That's good for people who already have some armor on it. However, you have to get up to 90 gems. No, excuse me, 50 gems. So you can pick him relatively early. I challenged it several times, and the best I tend to do is about 32. I had some good success with a Black Widow Leech deck. It gives some pretty good sustain, because if you've got a lot of agents out there, the agents keep siphoning health and gaining in power and sort of negating the damage that they take. AoE works really good, like a Quake or the Quake Bracers kind of thing. I know a friend of mine, Darth Plato, has been coming up with some good decks that push them into the hundreds. The good thing is you can just go into practice and keep trying different teams. The bad thing is, like, come on already, Netties. I really do believe we need some extra slots at this point. Because if you're going to even make a deck to go through the challenge, I mean, at this point, like, I've deleted decks to make decks at this point. And, I would have to, like, start screenshotting a deck and dismantling it just to create a deck to go through the challenge. And then when I'm done with the challenge, I'm going to have to make that deck again. So I'd have to pick a very unused deck and dismantle it and then bring it back once the event is done. So when you first log in, you were greeted with all the cards that are coming in the Doctor Strange kit. I've passed that, unfortunately, since it didn't record that one time, so I'm going to show you from Doctor Strange's category over here. Now, you are given Doctor Strange as a legendary for free. Some of these cards I've earned by going through the trial. Some of them I've earned by opening up neutral packs. So that's why you're seeing a reasonable amount of cards here already. I had believed we were getting the Cloak of Levitation as a companion, but it wasn't given to us. It says can be obtained from the event or the shop. I thought we were just getting it simply for logging in. Maybe I was misunderstanding that. I know we were getting Doctor Strange for logging in, but anyway, back to the collection. Let's do a quick rundown of the cards. And now that I know what the teleport mechanic is, I can speak on it better. At the end of the turn, if this card is in your hand, give it +2 power. So it's similar to what Taskmaster used to do with cards in your hand. I almost wonder if Taskmaster was changed so that you could not create a wombo combo with this. Because if he was in your hand, and then Taskmaster kept boosting it, that would have been perhaps a little nutty. Camouflage Apprentice. When being teleported to the battlefield, give this card +3 power and guard. So if you don't lay it on the field when you actually can play it, you're going to get a bit of a boost. And it actually guards. So it goes from a brawler to a tank. Now you may be wondering, well, what do you mean by teleported in? What is that? So you have cards, and I'm trying to find one over here that'll do it. So okay, Sorcerer's Mandala. This is, where is he? It's actually Ancient One that does it. Okay. So here, Ancient One, after taking an action, teleport the mystic character with the highest cost to your battlefield and recover all the damage that they took. So, Camouflage Apprentice in that kind of a scenario. So say you played Camouflage Apprentice and it didn't have guard, but you put it in your leftmost slot and it died. Well, not died. Yeah, no. That's not actually going to work. It doesn't count on death. I'm trying to find... Alright, so let's talk about Ancient One and Wong, for example. Wong starts with a guard, and after he's attacked, similar to, say, Captain Marvel, he deals 10 damage to the nearest opponent, and he teleports away, and he goes back into your hand. Now, Ancient One is on the battlefield. He does an action. So let's say you have him at 2-star. So he attacks somebody, does 30 damage. But then when he's done dealing damage, he teleports... Well, that's buffed. He teleports a mystic character back from your hand onto the battlefield, and he regenerates them basically back over to full. So Wong comes back on the field, back as a 20 and 6 with guard. He gets attacked again. He deals 10 damage. He goes back into the hand. So as long as Ancient One keeps living, or Wong is not dealt lethal damage, this is an infinite cycle. And then if you do something like Sorcerer's Mandala on Ancient One, which you will learn in the trial, give all friendly Guardian Mystic characters on the battlefield and in your hand 3 power and 6 armor. So, if this is on Ancient One and you're bringing Wong back via Ancient One, he keeps getting stronger and stronger and stronger until all 4 times of the Sorcerer's Mandala are out. And then Ancient One will keep bringing him back, provided neither one of those two are dealt lethal damage. Moving on, Ring of Compulsion. Put it on a support character, 3 power. Special action, teleport the mystic character with the highest cost to your battlefield. Trigger 4 times. So again, on Ancient One, if Ancient One were to take an action, he would gain 3 power. And instead of actually attacking, he would summon Wong back from doing his little guard dodging, basically. Now, this is good for any support character. So if you had somebody super beefy, say like an Ultron, or a Kamala Khan after getting boosted by skill damage, and, you know, she just keeps living and living and living because there's other skill damage on the field that keeps boosting her power, she will keep bringing back a Mystic until she dies or this runs out. 4 times is kind of a lot. You have Return to Sender. Move a Mystic or Dark Dimension card to your hand. Refresh the shop and it will include a Mystic or Dark Dimension card that you do not have. Now, if you already have all kinds of Mystic and Dark Dimension cards that correspond to shop level, just refresh the shop. Nothing else will happen. With these, I don't know if it means cards that you don't own or cards that aren't in your deck. When it says do not have, it's a little vague and you can kind of apply it several different ways. Dr. Voodoo, you get to learn about in the trial. He is Retaliate, but he's not a guard. I mean, he's a guardian, but he doesn't guard. Until you revive a character that has been defeated in battle with a star level 1, add a copy of Dr. Voodoo to your hand, and give it guard. So, revive a character who's been defeated in this battle with star level 1. He brings somebody out of the dead, puts them back on the field. Dr. Voodoo goes into your hand and gains guard. If something summons him back or teleports him back, he comes back on. His last words will trigger again. From what it looks like, if you are teleported in, it counts as a summon, which means for Hela, the bewitching spell counts. Bewitching spell will steal somebody that is teleported in, and that should also mean that Howard the Duck will go ahead and buff people that are being teleported in, because it is counting as a skill. And it does kind of count as a summon. They're just using slightly different language for it. So I think since the bewitching spell counts, Howard the Duck should also count. Baron Mordo, last words. Teleport the mystic character with the highest cost to your battlefield. If there are no mystic characters, teleport the leftmost Dark Dimension character card instead and give them 6 power. So he's sort of like Bucky, working both sides of the fence. If he dies, he's not a guard or anything, but if he dies, he will bring in a mystic character still sitting in your hand. If you don't have a mystic character, he will bring in a specific card from your hand, which is the leftmost Dark Dimension card, and give it 6 power. Really good if you're planning it out with bringing in a crucial Dark Dimension character. Mr. Misery, guard. After being attacked, teleport this card to your hand. Similar to Wong. You hit him, he goes back into your hand. Well, he's stuck there unless he can get teleported back out. So you have to always keep that in mind. Selena Stanton, after taking an action, teleport a mystic character with the highest cost to your battlefield. Give them 4 power. So if she dies during the attack, that's still okay because it is an action. However, if she dies while defending and she hasn't had an action yet, she definitely does go to waste. So you may want to protect her a little bit. Staff of Legba was a Dr. Voodoo move back in Marvel Avengers Alliance. And by the way, it is nice to see Dr. Voodoo again, as we've only seen him in MAA and Marvel Future Fight. I mean, he's decent for Deadpool and Marvel Future Fight, but not exactly meta. This goes on support characters. Gain 4 power and add a random Guardian Mystic character with a cost of 4 or lower to your hand. Trigger 4 times in each battle. So, if you have a way of teleporting people in after Legba has given the card to your hand, it'll get summoned. Now, I believe this could be permanent after that round is over. I think. I don't really recall. You have to watch your hand size on that one. You have Clea, who is a Mystic and a Dark Dimension. When you drop her, you remove an attack character, add a copy of them to your hand, and give them Power and Dark Dimension keyword. They cannot be played. After taking an action, teleport the leftmost Dark Dimension character to your battlefield and give them an action immediately. So, this is sort of like class cards in Magic the Gathering, like clerics or zombies or vampires or slivers. There are some cards in Magic that are every type of creature. They are an angel, but they're also a soldier, and they're also a goblin. And then there are some cards that can take on the category of others. They're sort of amorphous, and when you drop them, you can make them a sliver, you can make them a soldier or an angel or a dragon. What she is doing is a similar thing. So any attack character in the game will be removed when you drop her and will sit in your hand. If you are sure that it is the leftmost card, when she takes an action, again, she needs to live. When she takes an action, she will summon that card and it will have Dark Dimension characteristics. So any other things that work with Dark Dimension will then work on that card. So if you were to go to Hela, for example, you could summon a Dark Dimension Hela. And potentially, if you have a really risky wombo combo over there, is if Clea was the last card on the field and died during her attack. So she was 10, she attacked somebody who was 20. Hela comes in, has bonus attack power, and then Mavericks instantly, and then does Maverick things. Same for the Destroyer. So potentially you could kind of create some crazy things, but you would have to know Clea would be the last card and like dying. You could essentially run, like, say, a spider deck, and you're running the passive of when you summon a spider character, give other spiders buffs, and Clea could summon a Dark Dimension spider with increased attack power. Umar, remove an attack character, add a copy of them to your hand, give them the Dark Dimension keyword. They can't be played. At the end of the turn, give all Dark Dimension characters in your hand +5 power. So, essentially, it's similar to Clea. But what's happening is she's not necessarily bringing them back. They still have to come back a different way. But it will get returned to your hand. So that's kind of crazy. This is Dormammu's sister. And also Clea's mother, which, man, that's a family tree. Here's Wong. He's a guard. After being attacked, deal 10 damage to the nearest opponent. Similar to Captain Marvel, except it's not random. It's the nearest. Teleport this card away. He sits in your hand for the rest of that round unless you find a way of bringing him back. The Eye of Agamotto. It goes on guards. Like Wong, gives them 3 power, 3 armor. If they die, add a basic copy of the equipped character and this equipment to your hand. So, if Wong takes lethal damage before he gets teleported away, so he has 26. If somebody does 30 to him and he dies and he has Eye of Agamotto equipped, Agamotto says, okay, go, don't die, get a copy with Eye of Agamotto and go back to the hand. And then if somebody was to be able to teleport them back, Wong would come back again with 20, with 6, with the 3/3, and the Eye of Agamotto would be on him. you have to make sure you still have a way, like via Ancient One, of getting him back on the field. Displacement. Once per battle, when a friendly character is attacked, teleport the mystic character with the highest cost to your battlefield. So you could essentially have Caecilius, because he's a mystic, sitting in your hand, unplayed, and then displacement brings them in, and then Caecilius is now on the field, and he wasn't originally, so it acts as a surprise. Where displacement is a good combo is with somebody like Shu Lao, which you may remember the steps of Shu Lao from Marvel Avengers Alliance. It was a boot that gave you buffs to melee attack. When being teleported to the battlefield, teleport a character with Shu Lao to the battlefield. Anybody, not Mystic or Dark Dimension, anybody in your hand. So, displacement can really set up a surprise. Displacement can bring in Shu Lao, who then brings in another character. And if you are bringing in characters with invocations, they will fire. By the way, Ancient One. When a friendly mystic character is teleported to your hand, you have all mystic characters in your hand, 5 power, 10 armor. After taking an action, teleport the mystic character with the highest cost to your battlefield, recover all damage that they took. So, this is that semi-infinite loop with Wong. Wong will keep growing in power every time he goes back to the hand and then comes back on the field. Caecilius, when a friendly character is defeated, teleport the leftmost Dark Dimension character to your battlefield. When a friendly Dark Dimension character is teleported to your battlefield, equip them with the copy of this card's equipment. So whatever Caecilius is wearing as equipment, whoever he brings in through the teleport then gets a copy of it. So if you have the Daredevil nunchucks, the Manrikasaris, on Caecilius, and Caecilius brings somebody in, they're going to have it too. Cloak of Levitation. It goes on Guardians. After being attacked, give all friendly Guardian Mystic characters on the battlefield and in your hand 2 power, 6 armor. This equipment will be teleported along with Mystic characters on the battlefield. So, if you could put it on any Guardian. However, if it's on a Mystic character like Wong, it will follow Wong back into your hand, and then if somebody teleports Wong back on the field, the Cloak of Levitation will go with him. Sorcerer's Mandala. Give all friendly Guardian Mystic characters on the battlefield and in your hand 3 power, 6 armor. Trigger 4 times. Really, really good with Ancient One. Doctor Strange. Guards has Iron Will. When being teleported to the battlefield, deal N damage to 2 random opponents, dismantle their equipment. N is equal to this card's power. After being attacked, teleport the card back into your hand. So, similar to Wong, Doctor Strange could be set up for a loop. However, it's honestly best to maybe have another guard on the field, like say Wong. This way, Doctor Strange isn't plowed, and he keeps coming back maybe more frequently. And he has a bit of an Ant-Man thing, where he deals N damage to 2 random opponents, and he dismantles their equipment. If he's 8-star, he's hitting the majority of cards out there for 80 damage and disabling their equipment. If he gets hit, he goes away. And then finally we have Dormammu, where he cannot be played. He has to be teleported in. When this card enters your battlefield, deal N damage to all other characters. So that's everybody, where N is equal to half the card's power. So let's say 40 at 8 stars. If this card is in your hand when another Dark Dimension character is defeated, give this card plus 24 power permanently. So, if you set up a cheesy Dark Dimension character, similar to say a Hela character, to die early on the left side of your hand, or left side of the field, he's going to gain a sort of ego-ish boost. And then when he drops, he won't be 80, he'll be 80 and 24, and the moment that he drops, he will be dealing half of that damage to everybody. Shield of the Seraphim, give you 5 health. The card has another trick, but sorcerers have yet to discover it. I don't know what this does yet. And Voodoo's Call, once per battle when a friendly mystic character is teleported to your battlefield, summon the friendly mystic character with the highest cost that has been defeated in this battle, give them random equipment. So, if you have multiple people that could be teleported in, say Wong and Strange, if Wong died and then Strange gets ported in and Voodoo Call is on the field, in the process of Strange coming in, Wong will come in with him and be back. And I think that is pretty much about it. I don't think we have any other craziness going on. It is all self-contained within Doctor Strange. I'll tell you, the shield medkit could come in handy. There are ways of teleporting people in and having them get healed with a shield medkit. Could also potentially help. Any of the invocation characters would be good for some of the summons. Oh yeah, Juggernaut Helmet, this one. The equipped character cannot be damaged, defeated, or stunned before the first friendly character takes an action. Dismantle the equipment and give the character 10 power. Here is a combo that I think could potentially be seriously crazy with this. If you remember over in Captain Marvel, she has Supreme Intelligence. Now, it is stunned in every battle when it starts, unless somehow you protect it from the stun, like having vision next to him. Before taking an action, deal N damage to a random opponent, where N is equal to the number of your characters times 7. If he's wearing the Juggernaut Helmet, it would go ahead and give him 10 power, and then he deals his damage, and now he's dealing 20. If you have him star leveled up, he's dealing, where N is equal to the number of your characters times 56. He's wearing the Juggernaut Helmet. He is immediately unstunned. He pops for 7 times 56, and then he will do 90 damage in a standard attack. Very interesting. The other thing you could do is over in Spider-Man, you have the Goblin Glider. Gives stunned to all opponents. That's just on the opponent's side, so the Juggernaut Helm would protect against that. And then you have Abomination under the neutrals. Or actually, he's a locked, I think. Yeah, he's, I believe, a locked now. Wait a minute. Where is Abomination? There he is. He is under neutral. So, okay. Give stun to all characters without critical hit. Well, you don't need a vision or a critical character or critical equipment if you have the Juggernaut Helm. Because the Juggernaut Helm would prevent it from ever landing. And then that person would gain 10 power. So, pretty interesting. Maybe even Scarlet Shield could help Doctor Strange decks a little bit. Just kind of protect them from a little bit of damage. Potentially combos with Howard the Duck. Boosting characters who come in via the teleport. It's very, very interesting play style. It really does remind me a lot of what went on with Yogg Saron over in Hearthstone for a little bit, where cards that you would play would buff Yogg no matter where he is, and you know, things could pull Yogg out and do different interactions and everything. So that's about it for me on this. It's a nice introduction to what we're seeing with the Doctor Strange update. I may do a video on how to pass all the trials. As you can see, I'm about ready to do the final one over here. Some of these do get a little tricky, and what happens in later rounds kind of goes based on what you've done a round or two ago. It's not always, oh, what is the puzzle this round? Sometimes what you have to do is do the right thing in round 2 or 3 so that round 5 works. Just to let you know. Anyway, thanks for watching the video, guys. Let me know what you think about the Doctor Strange update.